What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikaPikaPaPa, and today we're talking Twilight Masquerade. Now, here on this channel, we traditionally haven't done a lot of set reviews prior to them being launched. Like, what I really like to do is I wait till they've been out for about 3 months, and then I do a recap video. I think that gives the market time to react to it. I think we get a better idea of what the top singles are going to be. You know, it just gives us a more holistic view of what the set is and what we could expect from it in the future. But I think a lot of us, and myself included, are kind of sitting here waiting for that next big thing in Scarlet and Violet, right? Like, at the end of the day, Sword and Shield is coming to a close, and Sword and Shield has set the bar ridiculously high. Like, it might be one of the best eras in recent memory, if not of all time. And so as we're sitting here looking at Scarlet and Violet, as we're wondering what's next, I have a lot of faith, and I've got a lot of eggs in the basket of the back half. So I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start looking at these sets prior to launch. Now, I don't know how much we're going to be able to get out of it, but I do think it's going to be interesting. You know, some cards, some characters certainly will get us more excited than others, and you know, I don't think we'll be able to say this is the one. Like, we won't be able to put our flag in the sand and say this is going to be the next Evolving Skies, this is going to be the next team up. But I do think that we will absolutely be able to identify some really awesome stuff early on. Now listen, if that kind of stuff excites you, we do all kinds of data dives on this channel and deep analysis, and if that's your cup of tea, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions or comments, drop them down below, and as always, if you like what you see, give us a big old thumbs up. I got a small channel, those 3 things help me out, and I really appreciate it if you take the time to do it. So with that being said, for better or for worse, no matter what, Twilight Masquerade and these upcoming Scarlet and Violet sets are inevitably going to be compared to their Sword and Shield equivalent. Now, these sets have no correlation. There's absolutely no correlation. There's no ties between Chilling Reign and Twilight Masquerade. The only thing is they are launching in the same order. Now, as I said, it is an unfair comparison because they're different eras. There were different things going on. Obviously, Sword and Shield was already into the alt art phase, and if you look at all of the artwork on here, it is absolute fire. It's like trying to compare your current girlfriend to your old girlfriend, right? You absolutely shouldn't do it, but no matter what, in the back of your mind, you know you are, all right? So, as I'm looking at the cards from Chilling Reign right here, one of the things that jumps out at me is there isn't a bunch of huge named Pokemon up here, right? Like, I mean, you got Snorlax. Snorlax is big. You got Moltres up there. You know, you got Zapdos, right? Like, Zapdos is obviously one Gen 1. It's an awesome Pokemon. And you got Blaziken up there, but Blaziken up until this set wasn't exactly a Pokemon that you would see at the top of the most expensive card lists. But what jumps out at me is look at the artwork, right? Like, that might be the most awesome Rapidash art that you have ever seen, okay? And the Blissey down there, that's nothing to shake a fist at. Even the Slowking over there, right? Like, the artwork is absolutely incredible. It's engaging. It's stunning. Like, that is what sets this apart, and it is certainly one of the things that I love the most about Pokemon collecting is it doesn't always matter about the name on the card. Yes, these cards with an equivalent artwork with a different name on top would be worth 10 times more, but the fact of the matter is these cards all have some significant heft behind them. Like, Chilling Reign has some of the most expensive singles cards out of the entire Sword and Shield era. I think it's second only to Evolving Skies, but it's because of the art and it's because of the love for these cards. So, of course, I'm going to be looking for that in the Twilight Masquerade set. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, that's what I'm looking for. So here's what I did. I started off with cards that I was hoping for, right? I started off with, okay, we just saw Zapdos from the Chilling Reign set, so I know that there's a Zapdos in base set. You got Poliwhirl, Poliwrath. You know, you have the opportunity to have a big, awesome special illustration rare there. You got Glaceon, you got Leafeon, you got Alakazam. Like, out of all of these cards, I was hoping for a big, bad special illustration rare or just something to jump off the page, but womp, it didn't happen. Now, there is a pretty cool Eevee card that we're going to talk about, but in the grand scheme of things, when I saw these as some of the base cards, I was really hoping that we were going to get something special, and it just didn't end up materializing. But what we did get are these cards right here. Now, what I did was on the 8th, I went ahead and I snipped the most expensive cards from the 2 Japanese sets that make up Twilight Masquerade, and this is what I walked away with. Now, there's some interesting takeaways from this for me. There is a whole lot of full art trainers up there. There's a whole lot of special illustration rares and illustration rare trainers up there, but in the Japanese side of things, those tend to command a little more value. Those tend to be a little more sought after. I hear that their pull rates are harder. Again, Japanese collecting isn't exactly my cup of tea. But when I look at this across the board and you compare it to the slide that we looked at prior when we were talking about the awesome art in Chilling Reign, when we were talking about how it was just absolutely next level, I just don't get it from this. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, there's going to be some awesome play mechanics here, and I know that this set has to follow the Teal Mask DLC. Like, I get it. There is a method to the madness, but I wanted a little bit more. And I know, you know, the Carmine card up there, that's the big one over in Japan. I don't know if that's going to translate over here into the US. And when I look at these, again, even the lower name Pokemon cards on here, they just don't have that fire. They just don't have that captivating artwork to them. So I have a little bit of a concern about that. And then what I did do was, these are the cards from Twilight Masquerade that, you know, if I'm being honest, I am a little bit bullish on. Now, are these going to end up being, you know, generational type cards that I think are worth a ton of money far down the line? I don't think so, but I also don't know for sure. We'll have to see. Pull rates are going to matter. Obviously, print quality is going to matter. We've seen a card like Magikarp from Paldea Evolved absolutely go nuts in price. Well, that's because guess what? The quality is so bad and the artwork is so awesome that it's just setting new paces for the cards in the Scarlet and Violet space. So these are some of the cards that are kind of keeping an eye on, at least in my world. You know, that Greninja EX, I think from an artwork perspective, I think that is really, really awesome. The Infernap over there too, I think the artwork on there is really, really cool. It might be a little too busy for a lot of people, and I feel the same way about the Greninja. Obviously, the Eevee card right there, you know, I think if that Eevee card were in any other set with other big name Pokemon, I don't even know if that would crack the top 10, but because Twilight Masquerade, you know, really lacks a lot of those big studs, a lot of those big names that we typically see, right? We don't see a Mew, we don't see a Mewtwo, we don't see a Pikachu, we don't see a Gengar, we don't see a Charizard, right? Like, we don't see these big names in this set, so I think Eevee obviously jumps up. Now, Eevee's no slouch. Everybody loves Eevee, right? We get a lot of great cards and a lot of great evolutions out of Eevee, but Eevee in and of itself, I don't know if that's enough to really carry this set. The Teskaguri card down there, God, I mispronounced that. But that card down there, the artwork is absolutely unique, right? Now, I don't know what the market is going to do with that. Is it going to love it? Is it going to hate it? I'll tell you this much. Me and my wife don't like it, but my kids think it's the awesomest thing in the world. So we will probably end up with one or two of those in our personal collection. But I don't know how the market is going to react to that. And I know the Carmine, I know that that's the big card over on the Japanese space, but I like this Kirin card right here. Now, it reminds me a little bit of, I don't know, I like the way it's kind of a mashup, right? You got a lot of Pikachu going on there, and obviously she's rocking the mask, which you would expect out of this set. So I don't know if this card is going to have the wherewithal to actually outperform, you know, the Carmine, or actually end up, you know, at the top of the set, but I do like the artwork on this. I also like that Lana's Aid card right there. I love these mashups where you have multiple different characters on one card. This card feels really light. It feels very engaging, right? It feels a little cartoonish, if you will. I really, really like that, but it's not quite as cartoonish as the other one down there. And then the Chansey card right there. You know, you got a Psyduck on there, right? You got Snorlax chilling up there. Again, I love it when they mash everything up together. I think that Chansey card, you know, has some opportunity for some price appreciation. But really, at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to get any Magikarps out of this set, right? I don't think we're going to have any cards where we walk away and we go, okay, this is going to end up being a huge chase card in the Scarlet and Violet era. Now, I'm going to also come back and say that doesn't mean anything. Just because I think that right now, who knows? We have a lot to learn about this set. We have a lot to learn about pull rates. We have a lot to learn about print quality here. So we could see one or maybe several of these cards really surprise us. At the end of the day, what I think doesn't matter. What the broader market thinks is all that's important. So it's going to be interesting to see how these flush out. I have not pre-ordered anything for this set, except, of course, I have my 2 cases of Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, which I have pre-ordered, and I also have 2 loose Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes ordered as well. You know why? Because my daughters, each of them gets to rip one, and then we send the stamped promo cards in for grading, because I'm trying to build a complete set of all Pokemon Center stamped ETB promo cards in PSA 10. So that's something that I'm going after. That's a little personal collection goal. But overall, we shall see. I don't think this is the big set. I'm very excited to see what the next set comes out, but I hate saying that. I hate going through Scarlet and Violet and continually saying I'm waiting for the next one, I'm waiting for the next one. Really, ever since 151, I feel like we've had a little bit of a gap here. So still super bullish on Scarlet and Violet, excited to see what's ahead, and I'm really hoping that I am pleasantly surprised and some of these cards pop off. So with that being said, listen, I appreciate you all watching. If you made it to the end and you enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions, comments, drop them down below. And as always, if you like what you see, give us a big old thumbs up. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have an epic one, and I will talk to you soon. See you, everybody. Bye.